morning and welcome back to the morning commute. It is 68 degrees outside and I have me a cup of coffee. I started drinking one earlier and then I realized I better just combine it with the other one that I was brewing and hit the road. I thought I was ahead of time. I am ahead of time, but when I got in the vehicle I realized that I still needed to get some gas. So that is what I am doing now. I am going to head down to Love's and see what they have for, I'm hoping they have good prices. And so let's go see what's on the radio today.
And on the Arizona Sports app. That's sports.
Archivists are making sure flood histories don't get lost. After a 1,000-year flood in 2022 swamped eastern Kentucky, archivists there cleaned the mud from thousands of tapes and records. This is a flood damage tape by old-time Appalachian musicians Oaksy Caudill and Ernest Adams. It was salvaged and digitized by the Appalshop Archive in eastern Kentucky. They've saved a lot, said Shane Terry, the institution's archive technician.
It's beautifully sad.
He said the scale of recent disasters in Appalachia have made regional collaboration important.
We can help each other out with maybe digital storage or physical storage.
Like all archivists, Catherine Cutchell hopes that their work can help future generations learn from the past.
One of the things that I'm really looking forward to is understanding how community members might look at those historical documents to inform the way that we advocate for ourselves moving forward and build a more climate resilient Asheville.
Looking into the future, she said, we have the tools to keep preserving Appalachian history at our fingertips in our growing digital world. For NPR News, I'm Katie Myers in Asheville.
This is NPR News.
And this is Morning Edition on the perfect mix of BBC, NPR, and KJZZ News. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Welcome, early risers. I'm Phil Latzman. Ahead, directives from the Trump administration are having a big impact on public health sector, including here in Arizona.
I might have to change the title of my proposal. I might have to change how I frame the whole proposal. It's crazy. It's like not being able to call a pineapple a pineapple. You have to call the fruit that's yellow with a thorny top.
The story coming up at 5:44 on KJZZ's Morning Edition.
KJZZ is supported by the Nature Conservancy, dedicated to ensuring healthy communities and thriving nature for future generations in Arizona and beyond.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you are, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Arizona's news station. All news, traffic, and weather on Arizona's Morning News.
It is 5:30. Thank you for listening to Arizona's Morning News. I'm Jim Sharp.
And I'm LaDonna Harvey. Our top story. It's one of the best.
Europe. She said she'll continue to seek a negotiated solution with the Trump administration. The German auto industry is likely to be hit particularly hard. No other country imports as many new cars from Germany as the U.S. does. 13% of Germany's auto exports go to the U.S., followed by Great Britain with 11% and France at 7%. German politicians are calling on the EU to respond swiftly with counter-sanctions on American products. Rob Schmitz, NPR News, Berlin. Mexico and Japan are the largest exporters of vehicles to the U.S. A federal judge is giving the government until tomorrow to explain why a doctoral student at Tufts University in Massachusetts is being detained.
So folks, I guess you're not getting that luxury Mercedes this year. You might have to choose something less expensive. But I was looking at some trucks like that. One that just drove by. Let's see, it was last week. They had at Van Chevrolet in Scottsdale, they had several Chevy pickups. They're the 3500 4x4 crew cab with a work bed or a chases bed, or I forgot how they describe them, but they had some there. Initially, I went to that location online because they had a 3500 crew cab long bed 4x4 for around 48 or 49 and change, and so I wanted to see if it was still there. And when I went back, they did have some, but they were not the one that was originally online, and the ones they had in stock were pretty expensive. I think like 70 or something. So I started expanding the criteria for my search, and that's when I found those. They call them like a chasis bed or something, but they were pretty nice. They were basic, you know. They had just the rubber interior for the floor mats or the flooring, and they weren't anything like fancy, and that's not, I didn't want anything fancy, but those were like 48, 49, 50. Did you listen to something?
Will not be happening, I promise. A high of 91 degrees. I'm going to drop the shovel. It's 5:33.
The life of the late Arizona Representative Raul Grijalva was celebrated by some of the biggest names in politics at his memorial service in Tucson yesterday. Adrian Fontes says he intends to stay the Secretary of State instead of running for the congressional seat left vacant by the late Raul Grijalva. KTAR political analyst Mike O'Neill says Fontes' decision may have to do with how the district leans toward potential candidates.
This is a very attractive seat for a Democrat, because once you get nominated, you will almost certainly get elected. And once elected, the likelihood is you keep that seat forever.
He says that district will likely lean towards a Democratic Hispanic candidate.
Eyes on education.
Chronic absence in Arizona public schools is around a third of students, which has caused alarm for education leaders. But it's lower than 7% in the Dysart School District, according to Craig Musey. He adds missing school can seriously set students back.
And that's why we do enforce that area of you can lose credit on that in that way if you do not come to school. And if you're in the K-8 model and you cannot come to school as well, and there's that large number of absences, you can be retained.
He adds that the district's partnerships with police help too, which state schools chief Tom Horn says he would like to see expanded.
After almost 20 drowning deaths last year in the valley, there have already been 4 children who nearly drowned this year.
Tracy Fate with the Drowning Prevention Coalition of Arizona says fatal drownings saw an uptick nationwide last year, and they're happening during non-swim times.
And I know everyone can't afford a pool fence, but having a lock, a high latch on your doors, having it so that you have an alarm on that back door. Of course, blocking those doggy doors.
She adds, we lose 2 to 3 times as many adults to drownings than kids. Adding, 4 adult drownings have already happened this year. Heidi Hommel, KTAR News.
KTAR and Fulton Homes reminds you that 2 seconds is too long to take your eyes off kids near water. To learn more, go to ktar.com/water safety.
The League of Cities and Towns would like to see the Arizona Starter Homes Act amended before it's voted on in the State House. Legislative Director Tom Savage says he would like to see some affordability requirements.
Okay, I put in $30 for now, so I can get back on the road.
He says he is very concerned that Wall Street investors will buy properties and then just use them as rentals.
Well, it's 5:36 right now.
Silver alert for 65-year-old Charles Chuck Mater. Chuck was last seen Wednesday near 34th Place and Flower Street wearing black shorts and black ASIC running shoes. He's 5'9", 190 pounds with blue eyes and gray hair. He has a medical condition that may cause him to appear confused. If you have any information on Chuck's whereabouts or condition, contact Phoenix Police immediately.
If you love golf and a good cause, then you need to be golfing for the Arizona Humane Society's 5th annual Home-in-One Golf Tournament. It's coming up April 4th, and it will raise money for more than 22,000
I got almost half a tank.
pets. Puppies will be available for include Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
Cars, or two police
For more
cars.
information,
One
visit azhumane.org.
Sure. There's dogs named
Ferrari and wasn't possible.
Coming up on Arizona's Morning News. If you didn't hear our exclusive interview with Senator Mark Kelly, where we asked him what Trump border policies he likes, well, we'll play part of that discussion for you next.
First, though, let's hit those roads. John Mueller live at the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
All right, a little bit of good news here, LaDonna. We cleared away that crash that was right at the mini stack. This was blocking the HOV lane, eastbound I-10, right at the eastbound Loop 202 transition ramp. That is out of there. So a little bit of leftover slowing coming out of the downtown area on eastbound I-10, but that should clear up rather shortly. And a crash off right eastbound I-10 just prior to 91st Avenue. That is off to the right. A little bit of a curiosity factor. Your point A for slowing coming in from the West Valley right now is Bullard Avenue, and gets heavier at the 101 naturally. But this crash is off to the right near 91st Avenue, and that should be cleared away rather shortly. 59th Avenue in McDowell, we've got a crash there. Crash in Uptown Phoenix. Central Avenue just south of Bethany Home Road. Grand Avenue south of Northern, we've got a crash there, and that is causing about a half mile of slowing coming into the downtown area, and also a crash at 7th Street and Bethany Home Road. Traffic is brought to you by Connecticut Water Systems. Find out what's in your water with a free analysis from Aquazona. Dial 602-910-65